We are talking to local leaders as more protests are planned across North Alabama. Joining us now, Decatur Police Chief Nate Allen. Thanks for joining us, Chief.
You're quite welcome.
So we're asking everybody, what do you feel is the state of race relations in your city?
Well, the state of race relations in Decatur and across the nation, I think it has some issues. Something that we're going to have to address. We're going to have to get out there and actually communicate across racial and across community lines in order to improve our race relations.
And Chief, what is your reaction to the death of George Floyd in Minnesota?
Oh, it's a sad, sad situation across the board. It's a sad situation for law enforcement. It's a sad situation for the community relations, the little relations that we've actually gained. It's a bad situation for the family.
It's certainly not typical of law enforcement anywhere, in your opinion, right?
Not at all. It's not typical at all of law enforcement. It's a very sad day. It's a sad day in the nation. It's a sad day across this country, across the board.
In your opinion, what have leaders done right and what have they done wrong in handling these protests so far?
You know, people need an outlet. They need to vent. What we do here at Decatur is we allow them to vent. We believe in the proper and legal protest. Our concern is when you have folks from abroad, folks who are not from our community, come in there and actually break laws and destroy the community, then they leave. But we believe in legal protest.
What conversations have you had with your officers about responding to protests?
Well, you know, we didn't wait for an incident to occur to have a conversation with the police officers. Over the past 4 years, we've talked with officers about treating people the way they wanted to be treated. Treat people the way that they would treat their family members. So we've started a long time ago building partnerships and relationships with all of our communities in order to have a good relationship when a crisis occurs. Decatur Police Department officers are not perfect. We make mistakes each and every day. But when we do, we try to stand up and accept the blame for the things that we've done and try to build the trust back and move forward.
Mm-hmm. This is maybe kind of hard to project, but how heavy a hand do you anticipate playing in a situation if these protests get out of hand? Where would law enforcement draw the line?
We draw the line when it comes to destruction of people's property, when they have lives at stake. When you talk about injuries to others, that's when you start drawing the line. Mm-hmm. Protesting, illegal protesting is good. Chanting, yelling, we all understand that we need a vent. They need a vent. We all need a vent. But in the end, we all need to work together toward finding a solution to the problem.
And in your opinion, what can we do to improve race relations and race relations within the department as well?
Well, in my opinion, in order to improve race relations anywhere, you have to have more of a diverse police department. Your police department should look like your community, at least your community makeup. It's been very difficult over my 35 years trying to get more minority officers in the law enforcement. Minority officers look at law enforcement as something they don't want to go into. You have two types: those who have gone to college and they go off and take a job where they can make a lot more money because you don't make a lot of money in law enforcement, and those who don't want to go in law enforcement because they may have had a bad experience with a law enforcement officer. So it's very difficult to recruit in the minority community, and that's across the nation.
Decatur Police Chief Nate Allen, thank you very much for your time today. We appreciate it a lot.
You're quite welcome. Thank you.
As